Hello everybody, it is time once again to head on over into Beyond Chaos, where we had last left off around Locke scenario. We had just started it. We have the debate of, do we just do his scenario with just him and try to get Kutan's equipment, or do we go through normally and get Celes? Now, there's two factors that are making me hesitant to do the Kutan process. The first one is, you know, he doesn't have a paladin shield. He has a flame shield, which is valuable, but not, like, you know, game-breakingly so. The other issue is that I have never personally done the Kutan route, so I don't know exactly when you can get Celes and sort of everything that goes along with it. Now, if everything does flame attacks, obviously that'll be more useful because of the flame shield, but if that's not the case, it's not going to do much for us. So, for now, let's go over here. I think what we'll do for this playthrough is we're going to go for Celes, because looking at Locke's abilities, he's okay, but I wouldn't say he's so good that it's going to make up for weaknesses of not having Celes, especially if tunnel armor were to absorb fire magic, for example. He'd be pretty much boned. So instead, what we're going to do is going to head over here, get our cider, bring it back, get into the underground area, get Celes, and figure out what we're doing from there. And I mean, I have to basically hope that Celes has something good on her. So I mean, our fire, like I said, not the worst thing in the world, but it could easily go bad if you're not careful. Alright, we got a crystal orb. Did I already have one of those? Raises MP by half. Looks like it's normal, so nothing worth noting. Could be useful if I have anybody that's very clearly magic-based. Although I'd prefer an economizer, as the economizer just makes everything 1 MP rather than worrying about MP totals in general. Oh, where am I going? I want to give it to you. Then come right back downstairs, talk to you. It's always the second option. There's actually a text file where you can alter what options are given to you there. And we've already gone through and gotten the treasures here, so the only treasures I need to worry about are the ones in the basement. At which point, we'll go for them depending on how good Celes is and how bad the enemies down there are. Alright, so we have a kitty. And what does Kitty have attached to her? Well, she is a mouse. We'll get the key. Alright, first off, let's look at your equipment. You do not have a weapon, which is not enthusiastic. I can have that. You are a fight Zerker. Okay, so not doing great here. Potentially not worth going out of our way to get stuff, but we'll see how much damage she's doing. I mean, she's got no weapon, so it is not going to be the best setup ever. In hindsight, it may have been better to go after Kutan. Barrier ring? Did we already have one of those? No, but it's normal. Now let's see what we're dealing with down here first off. If it seems easy enough, it might still be potentially worth going for treasures. They do decent amounts of damage. Physical attack could be much better, but if I can get a, what is it, the snow club, we'll be good to go. So, hesitantly, I will go through here. But at any point, I might need to just be like, yeah, this isn't working. Get the hell out. See, if you do Flame Star and stuff like that, it'll make this a lot easier. Alright, money, a Ninja Star. I mean, it's nice, but it's not going to make or break anything. At least with AoEs, we can get a decent amount of experience while it's just 2 people. I don't know if it'll be enough to really make up for weaknesses, but it's the best crack we got, I suppose. Eventually we need to strategize who's going to be in the final party. Well, I say final party. The final party going into Zozo. Crystal Shield and a Sword Breaker. Don't think there was anything in there that really changes what we'll want to have equipped, but I might want to double check what each of those things do momentarily. But for now, we'll just move along till we've got all the treasures and we've sort of gotten out of this basement. And free mithril knife, it's sellable, worst case scenario. Alright, there's one more chest down on this bottom corner. And so far, nothing in here has made me feel super in danger. Although I kind of wish you'd stop using the singular cast and use the AoE cast just to move things along. Of course, you're not gonna. You're just gonna keep going the way you're gonna go. Gold armor. I don't know how much of that is actually new. We may have seen it before. I record these on different days, so let's see here. Gold lance is normal. That can only be equipped by Shadow. That's normal. That's normal. Okay, gold armor has confusion effect, so we can't equip that, which we already knew about that. Fair enough. I can give you a better shield, so I can give you better armor at least. And that's about as good as it's gonna get, I suppose. So we'll head on up to Sabin's house to get a free heal up, and then we'll head into the actual South Figaro Cave. After all, with Permadeath, you rarely want to take chances if you don't have to. And the enemies are going to be a lot easier outside the cave than they are going to be inside of it. Although, the fact we keep getting back attacks is not ideal. Now, Kitty's definitely doing slightly more damage, although she'd be in the front row for that one, so 'tis what it is. try to get to the end here as soon as possible. We don't really know what we're dealing with inside here yet. And tunnel armor could easily wipe us if he was determined enough. As we don't really have anything to block his attacks. And God forbid he has, you know, built-in magic defenses like a reflect wall. We'd be pretty boned with our current party. I mean, if he does, and I notice it early enough with a weak enough spell, we might be okay, because I could probably break an item to make up for it. But it would make it a little bit too dangerous to risk using the R fire and everything. Now there's that done. Now let's see if we can get past you. Now let's see what we're dealing with. Well, never mind, we're going to do a summon, which he can't reflect anyway. We'll see if he can absorb fire, though, so that's something. He cannot. Okay, cool. Ooh, he does cast strong magic, though. But it doesn't matter, we got through him. Did a fair amount, so theoretically I could have gotten past that with just Celes, although it would have been tight, because he would have done 2 attacks. Plus the RNG might have been different. So it was a bit up in arms whether or not that would have worked. That being said, I may have gotten more experience along the way, assuming I didn't just run from everything. Alright, so, let's see. Well, first off, we're taking your gear back, because you're in no way being in the final party. We'll take your gear back right now, too, just so I have a better selection of what I'm dealing with. So, let's see. Terra is easily the best character. But the problem is after this segment, she goes away. We lose access to her for quite some time. So it makes more sense to let some of the other characters get levels. Unfortunately, none of the other characters are particularly great. I guess it has to be Locke, Edgar, Cyan Gao? I'd love to use her right now, but like I said, she's not going to be long for this world, so no real point. Alright, first things first. Alright. What's best for you? Do not want to equip the gold armor. I guess you can equip that. We don't have a helmet for you. I forgot about that. You can use a sword breaker. Might as well. Gold shield's fine. Diamond helmet. Kung Fu suit. Now let's give you a green that's fine. Alright, so what would work best for you? I mean, I gave you stronger that, but really your magic power is what we care most about. But I do have to make sure I... Okay, this one's fine. I mean, I'll give you that just because it boosts your actual evade percentage. What are you going to be doing most of the time? A launcher? So theoretically, I don't need to increase your attack either. Although that increases magic damage, so I might as well run with it. You can have the safety bit, why not? Beads. Guard ring, why not? And finally, I know one of these things we wanted. I should double check what they are. Because one of them we want to change, one we don't. Yeah, it gets rid of Golem Haste and turns it into Bismarck Soul. I'm not sure that's the one we want, though. That's Sonic Boom. See, Bismarck Soul would be stronger, but Golem Haste is better defense. I guess we'll do that, and I don't know. That one? Why not? Okay. Could try to fight these guys and get items and experience. I don't know how good of an idea it is, but at least I can get my commands set up. We are getting levels out of it, so... Although I have to be somewhat cognitively aware of where everything else is. Because I cannot let them get higher than where they need to be. As if they reach mana, and that's instant game over. That's the end of the seed. Now, the upside is if they do encounter one of the other fights, it's okay because dying just sort of gets rid of, like, it sets you back at the beginning, more or less. So I can use them as something of a bullet shield, but it's not foolproof. I'd prefer to grab everything before it got away from me. So as long as I stay up on this level, I think we're good. Assuming nothing snuck by me before while I was grabbing those other guys. Which I don't think happened. I hope it didn't happen. I mean, I feel like it would have been fairly obvious seeing them walk through, because I wasn't that far away from where their pathing would have been, so... And if I did miss somebody, I would assume at this point they would have reached the final goal, so I'm assuming we're all good. So we can get some extra money, we can get some extra experience, boost ourselves up a little bit. I don't know how much. I was kind of hoping they'd be more willing to drop decent items, but so far that doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. And I need to be a little careful here, because it looks like there's a bunch of them clustered at the same time. Also looks like the soldiers might roughly be the same color, which makes it a little harder to determine where the second wave is versus the first wave. Or at least they look the same color at a quick glance. You know, it might be that I don't have a real lot of time to just carefully observe the minute changes of one shade of yellow to the other. I'll take a free smoke bomb. Alright, they're gonna come in towards me, so that's good at least. Or at least this one is. I mean, Bismarck Solout's doing work, so even though we lost Golem Haste for it, I can't complain too much. That being said, I'll probably regret losing Golem Haste when I'm dealing with an enemy that does a lot of physical damage and is more or less immune to water stuff. Gotta check the path on the right, just to make sure nobody snuck through. I think we're good, though. Yeah, looks like we're fine. You're going up here. And that'll get us over the big wave of enemies. There might still be a couple scattered ones, because there always seems to be, like, 3 of them or so that just lag behind the others. But for the most part, the hard bit of this is more or less over. And there's one. I think this group is part of the second wave of sorts. The bummer is going down these paths, there's going to be like sort of 2 entrances. The right entrance is where the enemies generally start from. So if I go down the left, I might accidentally not be where we need to be, where something else comes up. Although it does put me at a better position for the moving enemy that's coming afterwards. Okay, so there's only 2 more. So at least we know where they are. If I get down there quick enough, I can pretty much just walk over to them before they start moving. You can see what I mean by sometimes they lag behind. Yeah, I made it in time. They were starting to move, but they move a bit slower than you do. So you have a bit of an opening before you can lose track of them. So it's not too hard to take out each of these enemies. I mean, you can always skip it entirely using certain routing to avoid every fight. But with Permadeath, sometimes, as long as the enemies aren't a big pain in the ass, it's worth it just for potential item drops, getting more money before you go off on, you know, the final journey, so to speak. There's more reasons to fight stuff than there is to not fight stuff. Now, we don't have anything to really protect against spells. So Kefka might be troublesome, but he doesn't have a huge amount of HP, so we should be okay, hopefully. I mean, this will be one of the big tests, I suppose. One thing I would be worried about is what he is dealing with as far as defenses against magic. Because if he can reflect any of these things, we could be in trouble. He seems relatively uninterested in the launcher, so I might need to switch you to physical attack. Yeah, you're just missing that every time now. Not great. Okay, that missed, thankfully. Do that just to break the confusion. That is very much not good, okay. I don't have much in the way of healing, so I'm just gonna have to make do. In fact, I'd rather take the turn and just hammer into him rather than to, waste it trying to heal up only for him to use something else. Alright, got through that. No problems. Unfortunately, all we got was an imp halberd out of it. Not great. But we get over the first sort of, plot hurdle. Like, the first act is finished. Now we're pretty much just going into the next section, which is trying to get to the airship, more or less. Fair warning, if you've never played Final Fantasy VI before, there is a chance of it having a loud screaming sound in a minute or two. It is quite annoying. As soon as Terra changes forms, it's going to start up. One of the features of this randomizer is that the Esper that Terra interacts with is different every time. So this time it's a siren. So he's gonna sort of interact with this Esper, and it's gonna cause a change in him. He's gonna become a Esper form himself, which is gonna turn him into the kid from Secret of Evermore for some reason. there's the scream. Very annoying sound effect. I don't know why they did that, but good on them, I suppose. I guess they were trying to sort of sell how dramatic a moment is, but it just sounds like a garbled mess, really. So I don't think it came off quite like they wanted it to. So she's going to fly around randomly for a minute. She never gets the ability to fly when she's in your party. But for storyline reasons, she will become Supergirl at random points in the story. So now we're going to sort of make a party. Half of it's going to go on the journey. It's going to be the party we already set up. The other half is going to stay here and just exist, more or less. Before we skedaddle, there is a couple of things we can do here. We can grab a couple chests, there's a couple shops, but for the most part we're going straight on into Culligan. So we want Locke, Cyan, it was Edgar, and Gao. And these two can just hang out together. Just to verify we did grab the correct 4. Alright, looks good. Let's head on out, check the item hut, and from there we'll check the shops. Figure out what we need to do for after that, so... Diamond Shield, Ether, Dragon Claw, Wall Ring is a good find, Thunder Rod, X Potion. Okay. As long as this Wall Ring doesn't have any dangerous stuff attached to it. Alright, Pearl Elemental. That works normally. And that's normal too. Okay. Well, first things first, you can probably have that. Secondly, let's give you that Wall Ring instead of the alternative. As you go further into the game, Wall Rings become a bit more valuable, as do the Cherub Downs, which are automatic float status. Could get a bunch more tonics, but I don't think we'll need it. I'll grab that in case we do find a tools user. Better safe than sorry. Worst case scenario, I might be able to break it, so it's not a huge deal either way. Bard's hat. Are you the person who can't wear a hat yet? If so, I might want to grab one of those. Looks like it's normal. Sadly, not who I was hoping for, but still, I will take the upgrade. Sniper sight is new. It's a bit pricey, and I'd rather get equipment upgrades, so I'll leave it for now. That being said, there are no equipment upgrades. Chainsaw's a bit pricey for what we have right now, so I'm not going to mess around with that too much. I assume we'll find a sniper sight somewhere around anyway. Okay, Imp Halberd. Sometimes it's worth checking those to see how much they sell for, though, as you might get lucky and they sell for a decent amount. So otherwise, they're pretty whatever. Unfortunately, it looks like it's strong from the damage value, but it's only really usable if you're in Imp status, which you never want to be. So for now, we will make our way towards Culligan to set up towards going to the Opera House, which is sort of the next big event of the game, aside from, you know, getting the espers. But all that sort of ties in together, I guess. Like it's right after the other. So in some ways I consider them very much part of the same thing. Do we have Edgar with us? Yes, we do. Okay. We can get a discount in the shops here. He's gonna have a sad because Sabin's not here to reflect on the moment. I mean, drill would be nice, but not for that much money, especially seeing as we don't have a tool user yet. Looks like our super cheap Phoenix Downs are no longer in play, which is alright. I admit I wouldn't mind getting a few more, as they can be quite valuable in Permadeath, but alas. Instead, we'll move on. So once we get over into the other side of the world, there's a couple of places we can go to. The enemies are going to be harder than they have been, potentially. So I do have to be somewhat wary of that. I don't know if you can run into stuff like Quake until the Magitech facility. Oh, sorry about that. But, I guess there's always the chance. If there was, they'd probably be turning up around this time, so you gotta stay on your toes, certainly. Let's make sure everybody's got the right command selected. Launcher seems kinda really, so I'm just gonna have him do physicals. If it was Magitech Missile, it'd be a lot different. The launcher is pretty crummy in general. Bummer is it'd be worth grabbing Shadow for the Chocobop, but considering he just run away, probably before we even got a chance to really use him, is not really worth it. That's one change that T Edition had that I really appreciated, is Shadow doesn't just leave randomly anymore. Because I can think of no playthroughs where I've been like, wow, I should grab Shadow right now. Like, even if he's really good, the fact that he just pieces out just makes him not worth the effort. That's normal. And it's better than that, so I can boost up some people's stuff. I need to sell the stuff that have the reverse cures effect as soon as possible. Probably do that here in Kolingen. Because no good will ever come of me having it. Because if I accidentally auto-equip and I just have a confused character, it's just not going to go well. Really pitiful experience over here. Only 17 for killing stuff. Not ideal, so I'm glad we got the extra experience during Kefka at Narshe. These guys have auto-reflect. Not great. So I need to hesitate to use the R-bolt stuff on them. Luckily I can stay at the inn or something, so not a huge deal. Now you can run into auto-reflect far earlier than that, so you're always kinda tempting fate when using the R-fire skills. Now you'd have to use something like R-Esper, which has its own downsides, because you can summon Crusader without meaning to and end up killing yourself. And it's a lot easier than you'd probably expect it to be. Alright, first things first, step into the inn. You took enough damage where it's probably okay to drop a quick sleep. That second thing, there is a treasure in the back of the tallest house here. There's also another treasure chest which we'll have to do some dodging to avoid a cutscene here. But it's not too hard to dodge. So basically, normally when you step into this house, there's a big cutscene trigger, but if you go to the right and then just go up, you will avoid it entirely. If you do trigger it, it takes like, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes, something like that. Alright, so, what do we need to get rid of? First of all, the relic rings. I don't know why we would need them, so I'm just gonna shit can them. We have gold armor we need to ditch. It's worth a decent amount of money, actually. And star pendant. Okay. So that's everything that is potentially going to screw job us, so good to know. There's some Phoenix Downs. I mean, they're cheaper than 1,000 rather. Let's hold off before I get too much into getting them. Nothing that's a boost for anybody. Full Moon is better for you. I'll grab it. I doubt you'll ever really do any physical attacks, but in case somebody is immune to the other thing. I mean, it's better than the Mithril Blade, at least, so there's that. Yeah, we'll start heading down to Jador. I didn't spend any money on Phoenix Downs because I didn't know if they were going to be cheaper in Jador, so no reason to. Yeah, we got auto reflectors, so don't bother using the R skills right now. Everything's dead but the Villium. Okay. Well, that's done. Quickly make our way down here. We're heading towards Zozo, where we're gonna get our first espers. Now, one of the flags that I have is called the Esper Allocator. I forget what the exact code is offhand. I think it's something Modwin. But essentially what it does is every character has a set amount of espers that they can equip. So when I get these first 4 here, I might have somebody who can equip something. I might not be able to equip anything on anybody yet. It's all kind of up in air. So, you know, you might get lucky enough to where you get Ultima on one of these espers, but then nobody can equip it. It's an optional code, so you don't have to have it on when playing Beyond Chaos. I just put it on for the hell of it, really. Realistically, I should probably take it off until I've beaten a seed without it, but if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna earn it, damn it. Yeah, we're almost there. We're passing by Zozo's section of the map. Alright, you are invisible, so we want to use your R stuff right now. I don't like the looks of you, though. And that is why I don't like the looks of you. I am glad I bolted. Okay. Let's use one Phoenix down on you, and I can use this sleeping bag because I'll never use them otherwise. So yes, if I run into invisible enemy, flee. Flee in terror and never look back. And these guys can't be killed by one Bismarck. I don't have too much more health, though. And presumably a second one would be enough. This is Dragon Quest music, if I'm remembering right. Alright, get out before he does something. Thank you. Alright. Made it mostly safely to Jador. Nothing that jumps out as a huge upgrade at the moment. Nope, nothing there. Let's check the relic shop real quick. And the item shop soon afterwards. Because for quite some time now, we are not going to be needing anything else. That could come in handy. It's pricey, though. I wouldn't mind not getting back attacks or pincers, though. Screw it. I don't have much else as far as just relics go right now, so I wouldn't mind having it. Alright, looks like it's new. Or it's not new, it's the normal. You can have that instead of goggles, I think. Alright, let's double check our item shop. Because we won't really need money for quite some time. So, screw it. Unfortunately, you guys do not sell Phoenix Downs. I could go back up to Cullingan if I wanted some. Grab one of these in case I need it. And there's one item in here we can grab. Only a headband, unfortunately, but still. No point saying no to free items. So you know what? Because there is that one dangerous enemy, we're gonna go ahead and actually grab a chocobo. I rarely actually bother. But I can't risk him using diffuser before I get to run away, so screw it. We're gonna go for it. Alright. Zozo could be bad, depending on what we get spawn in. Are you the same enemy as before? No, okay. So he can be sold out, so that's pretty much all I need to know as far as he goes. So because I have a Texas ROM, I set it to not randomize what the clock is. Otherwise, I'd never be able to do the clock ever. Without just sitting there for 30 minutes guessing. And this is going to kill most of them, so that's good. Theoretically, I could be avoiding these chests until we get to the World of Ruin. But because they're randomized, I don't really feel it's necessary. And I could use certain gears, so would not mind getting them early if possible. Poison Rod could be useful, especially seeing as how the boss of this area is actually, well, in vanilla anyway, he is weak to poison, so if he maintains that, that will pretty much be a simple win for us. Well, they don't auto-reflect it, so I'll take it. Seems like it's quicker to just use the physical attacks than everybody else. Don't know what the rabbit does yet, so I have to be somewhat cautious of it. Never mind, it dies instantly, so no concerns there after all. What is the... I have to remember what the clock is. It's been a while since I've... a little while since I've had to plug it in. But I can do this while I'm waiting to hear what's going on down there. Zozo clock. $6:10.50. That would be the wrong time. I'll just skip ahead so that I don't have to keep going through it. Alright. This time I will hit it 3 times rather than 2. There we go. Well, that's all we need to know there. And our reward is a gold shield, which is not amazing, honestly. We've got a few of those now. What do you do? I don't trust enemies that are by themselves when they're like little enemies where you could presumably fit more of them in. Well, he tries to sleep you. I mean, he seems to be weak to water, so... not too bad. I feel we didn't see his big attack, though. With luck, this should one-shot them, since we did do the damage with the other characters first. Okay. They death counter with that. That is not good. Okay. Do I have anybody that has actual, like, healing magics? You've Cure 2, which is not helpful for what I need you to do, but I guess we'll use another one of these and some tonics. All that for 100 GP. I mean, at least I know the rabbits are dangerous, so I can skedaddle when they show up. Okay. That thing looks a lot more dangerous than it actually is, thankfully. Probably better to heal him off battle screen so he doesn't have the reflect spell. Always good to be somewhat hesitant related to death counters when a new enemy is left alone. Sometimes they can surprise you. Alright, so I'm gonna stand here for a minute or two, let a conga line form, if only just to clear up the path going forward for me, so I don't end up getting caught on one of these guys when trying to make a run. That should be enough. Yeah, these guys aren't too dangerous, so we can go to town on them. Alright. Use one more Bismarck, that should take out the last enemy. Been debating going forward. I don't know when I'll start doing it, because it will require some reorganization of schedule and everything, but I've been considering popping on stream when I record these soonish, just to sort of add the chat aspect to things. And just doing sort of short streams on, like, I don't know, a weekend evening or something like that. But I don't know, I have to think about that, because I admit, I do miss having the chat while I'm doing stuff for YouTube. Another safety bit, gladly grab that. As it makes it a lot easier to babble incessantly over a game when you actually have something to bounce off of and respond to. Of course, the downside to it is, you know, the people who are there at the stream have no reason to watch the YouTube video. They lived the Star Wars. They know what went on. Unless they're really that determined to see a certain moment again. Nah. Skedaddle. We don't need automatic death, rabbit. ain't Monty Python's Holy Grail, so we're just gonna move on with our lives. Free potion, free iron helmet, which may be new? Well, looks like it's just vanilla, so nothing too exciting there. Haven't seen this grouping yet. Don't know if I've seen that bug in the background before. The wolves we've seen before, they're pretty easy. Alright, down to just the last guy. A little nervous about what he might do. He does nothing. Okay, cool. I like when enemies do nothing. Makes my job a hell of a lot easier. Now, when we get to the top here, I'm gonna have to unequip somebody and ditch them because we have to take Celes going forward. It'll probably be CJ Rin. Just because the launcher skill is not amazing. So I would say, of all the characters that are in the party, she's probably the weakest link out of everybody there. Granted, what we're getting in return is not much greater, but still. A partisan. That's a conquer weapon. Can't use it right now, so that's fine. And that brings us, after a momentary interlude, to our boss here for the area. Usually Dataluma's not too bad. I mean, if he doesn't have auto-reflect, he'll be a lot easier. Make sure everybody's topped up. Done that. Alright, let's give this a go. Don't auto-reflect. Thank you. Jesus. Alright. Alright, Flare Star's good as long as he doesn't absorb fire. He does not. In fact, it seems like he might be weak to it, so... thumbs up all around. In fact, it doesn't look like he absorbs anything, so... I'm gonna call it a win. Alright, already dead. That was a lot quicker than I was expecting it to go down, but I will gladly take it. I get a free Tentacure, which is always nice. So, there's 2 chests in here. We'll grab them first, then we will unequip Cyan. Light Robe. And a Crystal Shield. Now, let's check these real quick. 50% damage from poison. I think we've already seen a Crystal Shield before. It's pretty normal. Alright. Quickly unequip you. And because we have Texas ROM, it just sort of jumps to the end here. So, let's see what we can equip and what we get out of that. So, she can't equip anything, but we can take a look. So, Efreet teaches Bio, Stamina +1. Shoat is Break and Vanish, MP +30. Slow haste warp, magic power +1. I mean, useful to equip just for the magic power. Ice float times 20 is good, because we can get float early. Reflect as well, and dispel. Okay. That's unfortunate you can't equip any of that, but you can't either. You can equip a fruit, but you're about to skedaddle, and you can't equip anything either. So yeah, that's about what you would expect, just nothing all around. Okay, so we want Edgar and we want Gao, definitely. And we will quickly equip you. Diamond. I guess that'll work. You can have the hero ring and the safety bit, because why not? Amusingly, you can equip the one that teaches you magic power, even though you could feasibly never cast the spells. I mean, I could, just for the sake of it. Why not? Alrighty, well, we're going to drop a save out here. We will continue next week with the progression into Vector, doing the Opera House and everything. So I'll see you next week for that. On stream this week, we will be just playing Yakuza 5. I'm trying to get to the end of it before Yakuza 6 comes out, I think on March 25th. I don't know if I have a snowball's chance in hell of actually succeeding at that ploy, but we're gonna give it a go. We'll see how far into it I can get. If I don't make it, I don't make it. It is what it is. Speaking of Yakuza, I have ordered Judgment, which is a spin-off made by the same game company. So after we do Yakuza 6, I will probably be getting into that as well. So look forward to that. I'll see you next week, and during the week if you pop into the stream. Until then, have a good week, have a good weekend, whatever. I'll see you next time I see you. Later.